Good day everyone. I, Mr. Edric F. Hauzar, together with Mr. Joshua Panya, Mr. Riden Pamesa, Mr. Marjon de Ocampo, and Ms. Ella Servas are going to propose a project called Hawak-KaMath on-the-go flashcards of basic formulas in mathematics for elementary students. Here is Marjon de Ocampo to discuss the rationale and background of the.
And for our rationale and background, several students feared mathematics due to the complexity of some problems and the way it was being solved. It was stated by Swati 2020. Yes, I agree with him since most of the students that I interviewed says that it is hard or difficult to solve mathematical problems. It was remembered that the usage of flashcards in teaching is an effective way of students to adapt the concept of mathematics. It was stated by Miss Ito 2015, a child development expert. And yes, as I remember, my teacher uses flashcards in our elementary days in order for us to capture the lesson or the mathematical concepts. Knowing these facts, the proponents of the project will create flashcards with mathematical concepts and basic formulas for elementary students. Yes, and we, the proponents, will create a creative and innovative flashcards which can help them in their learning of mathematical concepts.
For the project description of our project, Hawak-KaMath, a project proposed by the Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics of College of Sciences, Technology and Communications, Incorporated, is an on-the-go collection of basic formulas that were being taught in elementary schools for them to rapidly grasp the way on how to solve mathematical problems. With the help of learning textbooks and educational Google steps, the proponents will gather the necessary information to inscribe on the cards. However, the flashcards that we are aiming to create are sets of basic formulas used in elementary school which will be very useful in answering some mathematical problems. So for the objectives of our study, this project envisions to find out how these flashcards can help the students in their mathematical performance and to reduce their fear when it comes to mathematics. Seemingly, with the aid of flashcards as one of their learning guide, this project aims to, first, determine their mathematical performance by having comparison in learners' scores in tests before and after they receive the flashcards. Second, ascertain the effectiveness of using flashcards as one of learners' tools in the learning process. Third, sharpen their mathematical ability, particularly in their lower order thinking skills or LUTs and higher order thinking skills or HOTs. Last, build foundation to the young learners and boost their self-esteem for them to be ready for higher level of mathematical concepts.
The developmental of the project learning resource or the PLR includes design process, pilot implementation, and sustainability plan. Under the design process, describing the process of creating the flashcard materials that we needed and the other samples. Here our Hawak-KaMath logos proposed and the examples of our flashcards. To further discuss the pilot implementation and sustainability plan, here is Mr. Riden Pamesa.
Okay, Ma'am Ella Servas, thank you for that. So for our pilot implementation, it will allow us to validate approach for a full application deployment. So as you can see in our table, it will help us to effectively prepare pilot implementation and to develop a detailed pilot approach, identify appropriate participants, and to plan the pilot environment and to determine how to monitor the pilot. So for our sustainability plan, as you can see the table, it's like a roadmap that will help us to achieve long-term goals and document strategies to continue the program, as well as the activities and the partnerships. So this sustainability plan is an important program component to address early in the planning and implementation stage. And lastly, the timeline and Gantt chart. So for our timeline and Gantt chart, we have here Hawak-KaMath is a project proposal that will be deemed to implement at the academic year 2022-2023. For the first quarter of our project, we are going to conduct solicitation, fundraising, giving permissions to schools and barangays, and orientation and skills. And for the second quarter of our project, we are going to conduct preparation of flashcards, distribution of flashcards, and start tutoring or teaching students. So for the third quarter of our project, we are going to continue the distribution of flashcards and teaching or tutoring students until we reach the last month of the academic year. And for the last month of our project, we would like to conduct salutation or acknowledgement for all people that help us to make this project successful. And for the responsibilities and collaborations or collaborators, so we have here brainstorming, and everyone is entitled to do their respective duties. Also the ethical consideration and enhancement on working together. So now, allow me to introduce Joshua Panya to discuss the further discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Eden Pamesa. And here are our project line item budget, and our estimated target amount of money is 80,000 pesos. And this is the budgeting plan that we prepare, and our source of funds will be solicitation on NGOs, private sectors, others. And here are our references. And next is the acknowledgement to Almighty God, or hearing prayers, guiding and providing strength, wisdom, patience, and determination to make this project proposal possible. To the beloved families of the proponents for giving wholehearted guidance and support in the progression of the project proposal. To the community, to the school, to the teachers, thank you.
On behalf of Hawak-KaMath team, we would like to thank you for the cooperation and time for listening. That's all.
1, 2, 3, go!
Hawak-KaMath, di kita iiwan sa paglakbay. Dito sa mundo ng matematika, Hawak-KaMath, di kita iiwan sa paglalakbay. Sa mundo ng matematika, Hawak-KaMath, Hawak-KaMath, Hawak-KaMath. Sa mundo ng matematika.